What's up YouTube, it's your boy NotZay back again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the 2018 NBA Draft once again, and now we're going to be doing picks 8 through 14 to finish off the lottery portion of this series. And with the 8th pick in the NBA Draft, I believe that the Cavaliers with the Nets pick will select Jaren Jackson Jr. basically because he is what they need, because the Cavs are terrible on defense, and that's well known throughout basketball circles that they're pretty bad. And Jaren Jackson Jr. has the second best defensive box plus or minus in the NCAA. He has a 7'4" wingspan, and he has 3.3 blocks per game. And at the power forward position, he's basically what the Cavs would want out of Tristan Thompson. He's an okay rebounder. He has the tools. He has the athleticism. But the thing about him is he stretches the floor, which is something that Tristan Thompson doesn't do. And as we all know, LeBron-led teams have to have a big man that spaces the floor. It's been Kevin Love from this point on, but I believe Jaren Jackson Jr. could add a new dynamic to it, because Kevin Love isn't the defender that we wish he would be. So maybe we could play them next to each other, and then they're not really losing anything on offense or on defense. Like if they were to play Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love together, they would be losing something on offense. With Jaren Jackson, he's shooting 42% from 3 and 79% from the free throw line. So basically, it's pretty much a safe bet to say that he'll be an okay shooter in the NBA, and that'll space the floor for LeBron. And since the trade deadline has passed, I don't think we're going to trade the Nets pick, and Jaren Jackson will be very valuable for the Cleveland Cavaliers and will make them probably one of the most win-now players in the draft. And he's probably one of the most solid big men in this part of the draft. With the 9th pick in the NBA draft, I have the New York Knicks selecting Wendell Carter Jr., which is a power forward / center out of Duke, because he's a good rebounder. He has nice hands, the high IQ, and he's a pretty decent passer. And I feel like that would go really well next to Porzingis, because Porzingis is not the rebounder that we wish he would be. I mean, he's 7'3", but only grabs 7 rebounds a game. Wendell Carter could kind of shore those kind of things up. And since Kristaps has grown into a thriving defender at this point in his NBA career, I feel like he could hide some of Wendell's deficiencies on the defensive end. And with his athleticism, Wendell also will fit really well next to Kristaps, because he can shoot the ball. He's consistent. He's one of those guys that are never spectacular, but never terrible either. They're always consistent, and he has nice post moves, nice hands, as I said earlier, and he can shoot the ball, which would fit very well with what the Knicks want to do, and it'll probably fit well with Emmanuel Mudiay and Frank Ntilikina in a pick and roll or pick and pop or something like that. I just feel like Wendell Carter would be the best fit for the Knicks at this point, because with the 9th pick, Kristaps might have injury concerns after this ACL tear, and it's kind of like he may also be the best player available. And I just don't think the Knicks can really chance it with this pick and pick a guy who has that bust potential. But Wendell Carter, you already know what you're going to get. He can shoot the ball, he's going to rebound the ball well, he's always going to be consistent on offense, and he has a high IQ. He actually considered going to Harvard, which is amazing for a basketball player. An NBA caliber basketball player to almost get into Harvard. He's just a really good passer as well, which would help the Knicks' offense remain free-flowing, and I just feel like he'd be the best fit. With the 10th pick in the NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers with the Los Angeles Lakers pick would select Mikal Bridges. And basically, they'd select him because he's a 3-and-D player. He's shooting 40% from 3 on 5.5 attempts per game, 82% from the free throw line. So basically, what you know you're getting is a shooter. And he has that 7-foot wingspan at 6'7" / 6'8". So basically, he's going to be able to guard the 1 through the 4. And he's going to be able to fit in well with Embiid and Simmons, because Embiid likes to post up a lot, and right now his shot isn't going in, and Simmons, his shot is non-existent. So they just need as many players as possible to space the floor. And I think that Mikal Bridges has that Robert Covington potential, to where he can guard multiple positions, be good at guarding multiple positions, and space the floor for his team. And a lineup of Ben Simmons at point guard, Mikal Bridges, Robert Covington, Dario Saric, and Joel Embiid The floor is going to be spaced pretty much everywhere for Ben Simmons to be able to get to the basket and do what he does best, which is pass the ball. And you're not really losing anything on defense either, because I feel like the 76ers would turn into a terror defensively if they add Mikal Bridges, because he's going to end up being a lockdown defender. They had Robert Covington, who was number 4 in Defensive Player of the Year voting last year. Joel Embiid is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. And then if you just add on Ben Simmons, who's been passable on defense, and then maybe they could add in another guy later in the draft who could be a defender. I just feel like the 76ers could be really scary on the defensive side of the ball with adding Mikal Bridges, and he's the most solid player available in my opinion, because he's a junior. He's probably one of the more NBA ready prospects right now, even though he is a little bit lanky. But other than that, I feel like Mikal Bridges is the best fit with the 76ers at this point in the draft. And yeah, on to the next pick. With the 11th pick in the NBA draft, I have the Charlotte Hornets selecting Kevin Knox. Basically, it's because of fit, because the Hornets, their starting small forward is Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, and they also have Nicholas Batum, who are guys who are solid players. They have their roles, but none of them are really good or have the potential to be as good as Kevin Knox is. And he has a lot of upside at the 3 and the 4 position. He's athletic. He's shown the ability to shoot. And basically, the comparison that I've been seeing for him is like Michael Porter Jr. light. Because at all the camps that were in at high school and seeing him play in college, this is basically what they expected Michael Porter Jr. to be. But he's just like a light version of that. And he has potential to play the 3 and the 4. Now let's take a look at basically how he'll fit in with the Hornets. And it doesn't appear that they're going to trade Kemba Walker. So let's just assume he's going to be with the team next year. And basically, I think he'll fit pretty well, because he's one of those guys who isn't going to demand the ball very much, because that's one of the concerns with him. He's not really going to force the issue, which is something that he needed to do at Kentucky because they don't really have another scorer. But he's not going to force the issue, which will leave Kemba with the ball. And then he'll have guys like Malik Monk to play off ball with him, who could take over a game. And he just seems like one of those glue guys that you're going to need if you're going to become a championship contender. One of those guys that can defend multiple positions, play multiple positions, shoot the ball well, be athletic, and just be an overall positive for a team. And yeah, that's just how I feel like he's going to fit in with the Hornets. Next pick, we're going to go with the Utah Jazz taking Miles Bridges. And I say they take Miles Bridges because he's an athlete. He can play 3 of the 4 just like Kevin Knox can. But another thing that I noticed about Bridges is he's really not a creator. He wasn't a creator last year. He's not a creator this year, which is something that the scouts wanted to see him improve on. 57% of his shots are spot up, off screens, and in transition or off ball, which basically means he's not a creator whatsoever, and he's going to need a guy to set him up. And the Jazz happen to have a guy like that in Ricky Rubio. And I feel like a Miles Bridges, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert teams will just have a hard time matching up with it due to the size and athleticism of the players. And Miles, if he can ever get that shot to fall, because he's an okay shooter. He's nothing great, but he's nothing terrible either. He's one of those meh shooters. But if he can ever get it to become consistently above league average, I see him becoming a guy like Jay Crowder or someone who can play off ball, play defense, guard multiple positions, and they also happen to be on the same team now that the trade went through. But Miles Bridges, yeah, I think he's going to be a positive for the Utah Jazz, and he has a lot of potential still, but I just don't think he's going to become the creator that others do. And he has a lot of potential defensively due to his athleticism and size, but I also think he's a bit of a tweener between the 3 and the 4. They're going to have a hard time fitting him into the rotation sometimes. But right now, Miles Bridges, his calling card is running the floor, defense, playing hard, and athleticism. And those are things that the Jazz need with Donovan Mitchell. And yeah, with the 13th pick in the NBA draft, I have the Detroit Pistons or Los Angeles Clippers, with the Pistons pick selecting Robert Williams, basically as a backup for DeAndre Jordan, because he's getting DeAndre Jordan comparisons for one, and DeAndre Jordan still has that pending free agency coming up since the Clippers didn't trade him. So basically, Robert has a nice shooting ability. He's athletic as hell. He's bouncy. He has shot blocking ability. He has the tools to become like a DeAndre Jordan like player, but with a jump shot, which is something intriguing to say the least. And if they do keep DeAndre, Robert Williams would be a good power forward next to him, or he could just be a nice backup center for them to have. And last year, Robert Williams was going to be a lottery pick just like he is this year, but he wanted to stay an extra year to build his draft stock because he wanted to be the #1 pick in his own words, but everyone except for him seemed to know that that wasn't going to happen. But anyway, Robert would fit in nice with the things that the Clippers want to do with Milos Teodosic and sorry, he's got a text. Milos Teodosic and Lou Williams, because Lou likes to shoot the ball in a screen and roll with Robert Williams, and Lou Williams would be very good together because if he sets the screen, Lou can just pull up and shoot it, and 9 times out of 10 he's going to make it because he's Lou Williams. Or he can be paired up with Milos Teodosic, and then it could be Lob City all over again because Robert Williams can catch lobs. DeAndre Jordan, if they keep him, can catch lobs. Robert also seems like he's going to end up being a good defender and rebounder at the next level, and I just think he's going to be a very solid player. He can shoot the ball, block shots, he has the tools, athleticism to become a nice defender, and I just think he'll fit in nicely with what the Clippers want to do moving forward, since they do seem to be retooling a bit. And I could see a lineup of him and Tobias Harris at the 4 being something, because he can shoot, Tobias Harris can shoot, and if they just run a lineup with like Milos Teodosic or Lou Williams or something like that with that lineup, that's going to be nice spacing so Lou can get to the basket and draw fouls, and Robert Williams can clean up misses with his offensive rebounding ability and his athleticism, and then a guy like Tobias Harris can really shoot the ball and take guys off the dribble, which will leave Robert Williams open for those alley-oops or for the lobs or just open 3-pointers anyway. So I just think that he'll fit in really nice with the Clippers. Alright, next and final pick, I have the Philadelphia 76ers taking Lonnie Walker with the 14th pick in the draft. Because JJ Redick could be leaving them this offseason, Lonnie Walker has a solid shot. He's long and explosive and has nice 3-D ability. So basically I feel like they're going to take him for the same reasons they're going to take Mikal Bridges earlier in the draft, because he can shoot the ball. He's going to fit in well with Embiid and Simmons, because like I was talking about with Mikal Bridges, this is the player I was alluding to, because a lineup of Joel Embiid, Mikal Bridges, Lonnie Walker, Ben Simmons, and Dario Saric can all space the floor. And I would have put Markelle Fultz in instead of Lonnie Walker, but his shot is, well, I don't even want to get into that whole topic, but yeah, that lineup would be very good defensively because they'll have defenders at 3 out of the 5 positions, and not just defenders, lockdown defenders at 3 out of the 5 positions, possibly 4 out of the 5, because Ben Simmons has some potential to become elite. But I just feel like he'll fit in really nice with what the Philadelphia 76ers want to do off the bench initially, because I think he'll need a year or two to like develop and become a positive for an NBA team. But I feel like he'll be a really solid addition for the Philadelphia 76ers, whether he ends up starting or coming off the bench. That's not my decision, but I can kind of see him becoming an Avery Bradley kind of player, because he's explosive, he's long, he plays defense, and he can shoot the 3 just like Avery Bradley. And if he lives up to that potential, that'll be really, really nice next to Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. And that's it for the lottery portion of the series. Comment down below if you want me to do the rest of the draft, or if you just want me to do a video on sleepers in the draft or on a specific player, because I'm feeling like doing an Anthony Simmons video. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and if you have an issue with something that I said in this video, this is all opinion, so feel free to put your comment in the comment section below. Alright, bye.